All right. Time to head off again. Time for another under 100 views video. So, as many of you probably know, I was down visiting my parents at their request. So now it's time for me to head back up home, head back to Fairbanks, escape this miserable heat. Charleston Airport is in fact looking way nicer than it used to back in the old days of a few years ago. But I still prefer leaving out of Fairbanks, mainly because no one lives in Fairbanks. And also Fairbanks isn't completely riddled with booze advertisements. Thankfully, I'm not waiting around here for too long. Looks like already boarding. So, incoming takeoff and landing footage. We'll come back on camera in Atlanta. All right, in Atlanta, as promised. I think I have 2.5 hours here, so that should hopefully be enough time to get some amount of aviation photography in. Certainly more than I was able to get in Detroit. By far, photography-wise, Detroit was the worst airport that I've ever been in. All the windows were like, all the windows had like polka dots like all over them, embedded in them, so that like every image you tried to take, you couldn't really focus outside of the dots. And even on like the clearer windows, they all had the jet bridges, like all of them were, instead of, you know, angled out, they were all angled like completely horizontally across the windows, blocking any views. So it wasn't like that the first time I went through Detroit's airport like 2 years ago, but I don't know if that was just a different terminal or what's going on with the decision to like have all the jet bridges be like completely horizontal. But at least Atlanta, thankfully, is photographer friendly. And somewhere in here, if I can find it, I'll show you guys a special place. It's called PF Chains. It's a restaurant, but it's a restaurant on an upper floor. like a secret, sort of secret upper floor, and it has this huge panoramic view of like the tarmac and all the parked aircraft. It's awesome if you're obsessed with planes and stuff like I am. But I'm gonna look around, check for my flight, see where it's gonna be at, and then probably get some food. Oh, they added a Wendy's since the last time at least. But let's see where I need to go. If you ever need any proof of Atlanta being the busiest airport in the world, you can see how many screens they need for all. These are just their departures, and you can also see they constantly have to change. Each screen has to constantly change, like the one with the S's and the R's there, or any destination that starts with an S or an R is constantly having to flip through and change itself to show different pages of S and R destinations. It's that insane. Like when I watch it on Flight 24 or Flight Radar 24, the live flight radar site I like to use. Typically, I was seeing a takeoff and or a landing at least every 35 seconds.
Welcome aboard the plane train. Please hold on. This train is departing. The next stop is for C gates. C as in Charlie.
Hartsfield-Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, a gateway to the world, is taking a strong stance in the fight against human trafficking. If you see something suspicious, please call 911 to be connected to the proper authorities. Thank you for doing your part to help end human trafficking.
Please hold on. This train is stopping. Please collect your belongings and watch your step as you exit.
All right, here we are. This is Terminal A. I don't think I caught it for you, but this is Terminal A, and right where the escalators come up is where the secret escalator is. Hidden over here in a corner. Takes you up to PF Chang's. Takes you up to PF Chang's. And up to the observation post. Here we are. Nice and elevated. Pretty good view straight down the line. So you can see nothing but Delta tails. Across the way. Somebody either getting ready to park or getting ready to head out. You can vaguely see the Atlanta skyline, the big Delta hangar, and all those jet fuel, mega jet fuel tanks. And here's this sort of highway they have in between the terminals and under the buildings. All the luggage carts and the maintenance vehicles go through under there. And you can sit here. You can sit here for hours, and it's nonstop. They never stop coming and going. But it looks like we got a line of 737s. Oh, there's a CRJ coming in for a landing. And then over here, or over on that side, we have MD-88s. Well, it didn't work out as well as usual, as cloud cover started getting pretty decent. So lighting's kind of trash now. So I only really got in like 30 or 40 shots before I felt like it just wasn't worth it anymore. So have to park somewhere and recharge this thing because it burns through its battery really fast. And get some food, because you have to get something while you're here in Atlanta. because there ain't nothing to eat in Seattle. Got myself one of those evil plastic straws. Okay, well, we're in Seattle now, finally. That was not that bad of a flight. That was much shorter than it was actually scheduled to be. But about halfway through it, I'd ended up with a pounding headache. So I doped some ibuprofen and some acetaminophen, and we'll wait for that to start taking effect. But for the moment, I'm gonna head over to wherever I'm supposed to be. And actually, no, we're gonna go to the main area and see if all those renovations they were doing to greatly expand the main like dining hall place and the viewing windows, and they were adding like upper floors to it and stuff. We're gonna see if that's all actually done now, because they said it would be done by summer 2019, and I mean I came down this way in summer 2019. It wasn't done. Now I'm going back up this way in summer of 2019, so I'm really hoping that it's actually going to be done like they claimed it was going to.
Doors closing. Please stand clear. Please hold on.
That's the A220 or the CS100, whichever you prefer to go with. It's an awesome new aircraft. The flights to and from Fairbanks are going to be changed out in a couple months, and they're going to be A220s. Now, what Delta is doing is, like, completely across the board, they're replacing all of their MD-88s and MD-90s and all of the old McDonnell Douglas stuff with the A220. And it is sad to see the MD-88 go, but you know, the A220 is pretty awesome. And even as a fan of the MD-88, I have to admit it's getting pretty old. Like most of them are 30 plus. A number of them I think are nearing 40 years. Now, thankfully, unlike the window that on the plane that I was seated next to, the windows here are very clean and very easy to see through. So I have been able to get a fair number of shots in, including some, I'll show some here, of a nice British Airways 747. And here we are. That's the renovation work that is still not finished. Pretty disappointed, Seattle. SeaTac rather. I'm pretty disappointed. Still not done. Summer 2019. Sure. Well, luckily, some of the viewing window is still actually there. But they've had to double back on themselves. It used to be, it used to be summer of 2019, and now they just changed it and hope no one was looking. To from summer 2019, it'll be done to some unambiguous time between 2019 and 2021, which translated means they won't be done until 2021. I've gotten too used to construction work standards in Alaska, where like we just get things done. We get them done like properly and quickly, because the main driver is that we only have a narrow window each year in the summer, because there's just summer and then there's Arctic winter. There's just that narrow window in the summer to do serious construction work. So we don't really have like the time or opportunity to drag stuff out. One more cup of milk, some more German chocolate. About to start boarding in a few minutes. We'll be back up home in about 4 hours. So, I'm back, as you can see, and what you can't see is that I hit the record button, but it didn't record, so I just recorded everything you're about to see, or rather I just said everything you're about to see to a camera that wasn't doing anything. So, regardless, towards the end of like the final flight, I was getting way too much of a headache and getting way too tired to actually feel like turning the camera on again. Plus, you know, since after getting there, I had to get a ride from my friend, get all my stuff out of storage, aka their living room, and carry it all up in here with their help, of course. Nick and Kayla are the best, by all means. But had to get all this stuff up in here and rearrange all the dorm furniture in the way that I want it. And now, since I have a few days to wait further until my actual job restarts, we'll just get some more work done here. This is for the video that I was referencing every time I said and X graph here is a preview of an upcoming video. That's what this is. Hopefully this should be finished before this is actually finished, but we'll have to see how that goes. But regardless, thanks everybody for sticking around. I hope you all are enjoying yourselves out there, whatever you're doing. As usual, if you want to help out, all the links and stuff are down in the description below. Health insurance ends in, probably by the time you see this, 5 days.